Hello everybody, long time no see. I know I've been absent for a minute. I did post a video, I think it was 2 months ago, but nobody really watched it, so it's almost been 5 months since my last upload. But today I'm going to listen to my better judgment and I'm not going to give any explanations on that. But I just wanted to come on here and talk about something that's been on my mind this past week. But in order to get to the title of the video and how I came to that conclusion, first, I gotta tell you a story. I can't pinpoint the exact start of the story, but I want to say that maybe it was about 2 weeks ago. My algorithm started feeding me a lot of video game content, whether that be about video game collections, whether that be about backlogs, whether that be about consumption in gaming, etc, etc, etc. The point is, I started getting a lot of gaming content on YouTube, on TikTok, Instagram, etc, etc, etc. Ever since I could remember, I've always been around video games, I've always played video games, I've always had video games. Now I have more than I know what to do with, but that's a story for another day. But every single time my algorithm starts to get flooded with videos about video games and content creators and let's plays and walkthroughs, I get this sort of insatiable itch to turn on the video game console and just play something, finally beat a game. Every time I'm like, okay, let me look through my collection, I'm gonna play this game, this game, this game. But every single time that happens, I play for about an hour, more like 20-30 minutes, and then the itch is scratched, but I don't really feel satisfied. We'll get to exactly why that is in just a moment, but this time around, because I was seeing a lot of content about retro games, I said, you know what, let me boot up the old PS2. I literally had it hooked up because I was playing a few hours ago, but this is my PS2 controller, and the game that was already in there was a game I was playing with my nephew, so I was like, you know what, let me leave that for me and him. This could be our moment. Let me play a game that I bought maybe 2 years ago. I can't say exactly when, but that game is Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus. This may have actually been like almost exactly a week ago. I booted up the PS2, I brought it to my room, and I sat down and started playing, and I played for, I want to say, an hour. Mind you, this is a game that I had played before, but I started rage quitting. I didn't like it. It was again one of those things that every time I get the itch to play a video game, I boot this up and then I play it for like 10-15 minutes. Nothing of substance, but this time around something clicked. I was playing the game and I was like, and what I noticed on that first night when I beat that first set of levels in this game was that there was absolutely no distraction at all. I don't even know where my phone was. I don't know if it was in front of me, if it was in the room next to me, but I didn't have my phone at all. And I was like, wait, hold on a minute. And it was at that point where I said, you know what? Let me do an experiment. Every single time that I get on and boot up the PS2 and start playing Sly Cooper, I am not going to have my phone on me, with the exception of having music playing on my speaker or music playing from my phone. And the only reason why that's the only exception, if you're not familiar with Sly Cooper, this is a platforming game that is my favorite genre of video games to play. It's one that I can very easily get lost in because the plot and the mechanics aren't really that important. Like, you don't really need to listen to it unless it's like a cutscene, obviously. So most of the times when I play these games, especially games that I'm playing over and over and over again, I put everything on mute and I play some music and I just lock the fuck in. Anyways, that was a week ago. Today, I can say that I beat this game, and aside from the post-game stuff that you can do, I have done 100% of the things that you can do in this game before you actually go and beat it. If you saw my low buy video that I posted earlier this year, I did say that for every video game that I bought, I was going to beat a game and buy another one. This is the first game that I've completed all year, and today is June 7th. Let that sink in. But as the week went on and as I would boot the game up maybe an hour before bed, I realized that this gaming experience, despite this being a game that may not be the best game I've ever played, it's a game on an older console, it honestly had nothing to do with the medium, with the console, what it was on, but the fact that I was giving an hour of uninterrupted time to this game, it made the experience so much more immersive, so much more fun. Like, I found myself really caring about what was going on in the game. But I realized in that week that I was just so into it. I was playing music in the background. I put my entire music playlist on shuffle and I was getting songs throwbacks, and I was playing the game, singing along. I was like, oh my God. I was like, wait, this is fun as fuck. And then it hit me. It hit me. The one thing that I never wanted to admit to parents, to people of the older generation, even though now everybody's cooked, is that the phone, unfortunately, is the problem. Despite just saying that, I'm going to go ahead and contradict myself and saying that while the phone is the problem in this situation, it is not the problem per se. What I learned in this week-long experiment is that it really is about giving 100% of yourself to the thing that you're doing for however much time that's supposed to be. I'm the type of person that when I was growing up and I would hear, oh no, the human mind cannot really multitask, you can't really multitask, I was like, oh, like, yeah, like, y'all just need to lock in, like, y'all don't know what the fuck you're talking about. But Unfortunately, it's very true. And the reason why I say it's not necessarily the phone is that if you're talking to somebody and washing dishes, you can hold the conversation and wash a dish at the same time. But it's that thing where it's like, try writing with your right hand and try writing something else with your left hand. You can't. That was a bad analogy, but I feel like the reason why so many people have an aversion to their phone is because of how these little devices are designed. Obviously, way back when in the mid 2000s, when everybody had a PS2 and a Wii and a PS3 and an Xbox 360, the most your phone was gonna do was beep because somebody was calling you or somebody was texting you, because the phones were just simpler back then, right? But we don't live in 2006 anymore. We live in 2026. Almost everybody that you know has a smartphone. Almost everybody has apps that are sending you notifications constantly, constantly, constantly. You put your phone down, in 5 minutes you have 10 notifications, and it's not even anybody calling you or texting you. It's just apps, shopping, emails, automatic apps, calendar reminders. So many things are constantly being fed to. And I guess what I'm trying to reach at here is that because we are always so plugged in and always so accessible to not only other people but to the world at large, and because we're so accessible, period, I feel like that's why so many people have such a hard time focusing on one thing, why so many people are trying to sort of slow down their life. But I guess what I'm trying to say here is that the phone is not the villain. The phone is not the villain. Social media is not the villain. I just finished editing this video and I wanted to add one more thing before you continue. I'm not gonna sit here and blow smoke up my own ass like I'm the second coming of Socrates or Plato and I'm coming to these entirely new conclusions as nobody's ever thought these things before, because they probably have. There are definitely bigger fish to fry in this world, but I feel like even worldwide, the world is becoming increasingly overstimulating and harder to keep up with. And at least nowadays in the society that we live in, the major cause of that is actually your phone. But then again, your phone is not the only distraction you have in your life. It's not the only thing causing you to be overstimulated. So I think it's important every now and again to take a step back and realize that at the end of the day, you have free will. And at least in this case, maybe you are the master of your own destiny. Anyways, because I anticipate people are going to watch this video, I wanted to make sure that I'm being 100% clear on what it is I'm trying to say in this video. So back to it. The Terminators may come, but today is not that day. Phone may have apps that are designed to be addicted. There may be settings and softwares designed to keep you on your phone as long as possible, because the more you are on your phone, the more money they can probably extract from you. Yes, all of those things are true. But you know what else is true? You don't have to use it. You don't have to be on Twitter, which I am no longer on Twitter, and I'm gonna make a video about that probably another time. But you don't have to be on Instagram all day. You don't have to be scrolling through TikTok. You don't have to be on YouTube. You don't have to be reading emails. You don't have to constantly be texting. The phone is not holding you at gunpoint and say, use me, motherfucker, use me. The phone ain't doing that. The phone is not doing that. So on one hand, you have the aspect of personal accountability, which is like, hey, I'm on my phone 6 hours a day because all I want to do is be on my phone. And on the other hand is the phone is designed to be addicted. So here we have the two extremes. How do we find the solution? The solution is just be fucking intentional about what you're doing with your phone, right? What I learned this week is that the phone is not the villain. I am not the villain. It just has to be that whenever I decide that I'm going to do something that is not on my phone, for example, if I want to go read a book, or if I'm going to go grocery shopping, if I'm going to hang out with a friend, I am going to do just that thing, which I guess also kind of feeds into living in the moment, being really present, being intentional, da 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 da. But it's like when I sat down to play that game, and I had everything else done with the day, because I have a really big backlog of things that are pending, and it used to cause me a lot of anxiety, but I'm working on it and it's getting a little bit better. But when you sit down to play that game and all you do is play that game, you're going to be better at the game. You're going to be more focused on the game. You're going to have more fun with the game, because that's what the point of it all is. If you're sitting down to play a video game and you aren't having fun, turn off the fucking game. Turn it off. It's okay. When it's time to go on TikTok and brain rot, and time to go on Instagram and scroll reels and send 25 reels to your best friend, trust, that time is going to be great, but that just has to be the thing that you're focusing on. You have to be intentional about it. Which, in thinking about the phone not being the villain, it also made me think about the trend of like being analog and bricking your phone. Which, if you buy a brick for your phone, if I remember correctly, I think the brick is like $60, and it's just like this little device that you buy and you put it on your phone as if it's gonna like Apple Pay your phone, and it'll block all the apps that you need on your phone. First of all, that seems wasteful as hell. Second of all, have you tried deleting the app on your phone? When you go back to download the app on the App Store and you're like, damn, I shouldn't be on this. You know what you do? You hold down the button on the phone screen while it's downloading and you put cancel download. And you keep moving. And you don't use the app. And you don't download the app. Why do we need these things? Why do we need a separate device to not use your other device? Hello? I'm sorry. I find that a little bit stupid. I don't think we should be needing bricks for our phone. Put a time limit on your phone and follow it. Delete Twitter. Delete TikTok. Delete Instagram. I don't know. I'm not saying I have all the answers. I also don't want to tell you what to do because who the fuck am I to tell you what to do? But it's things like that where it's like, why do you need to pay somebody for a little device to stop the apps on your phone from working? That is dumb. That is dumb. Which, sort of on the same breath as the brick, I feel like the people who are now making like analog bags and I'm going analog for 2026, I think all of those things are fine and dandy, but I think that a lot of those people are in a privileged enough position to where they probably don't need to use their phone in the first place because you're buying a flip phone, it doesn't have GPS, it doesn't have good text messaging. It probably does have text messaging, but it's probably annoying as fuck to do. Like, why are you making your life more complicated because you don't want to use your phone? Again, do what you want. I don't really give a fuck. But I think that it's just another extreme of everything else. Like, okay, I think journaling is good. It's good for mindfulness. It's good to organize your day. A calendar is good. An alarm clock is good if you don't wake up. I might have to get an alarm clock too. Like, I do not like my alarm. And it also begs the question to me, like, how analog can you really be if you're still posting your videos about your analog life with an iPhone, right? Or with a Samsung. To all the Android users out there, maybe you have a Samsung. I don't know. And it's just all these things that I've been thinking about recently. Like, why is the phone all of a sudden the enemy? Like, we could also choose to make more intentional decisions. And obviously, it's way harder than it is. Like, the companies are going to do whatever the fuck they want to do anyway. But if enough people use their things intentionally, I feel like it would be enough to make a change. Or even if they don't want to make the change, they're going to get forced to because that's where the money's going. At the end of the day, that's the society we live in. But it's just something I've been thinking about in terms of being more present, being more intentional with the things that I do, giving myself 100% to the things that I want to do, the things I want to pursue, among other things. I don't know where else I want to take this ramble, and honestly, I think I'm going to end it here because I don't want to keep you here much longer, and I felt that this was supposed to be a quick video anyway, but I just wanted to share my thoughts and maybe inspire conversation about things like this. How do you feel about how much screen time you have on your phone? Personally, I'm going to keep using my phone. I love using my phone. I love YouTube, TikTok. I don't like Twitter anymore. I like being on Instagram. But I also like doing other things, and I feel like there should be a time and space where you do use your phone, and a time and space where you don't use your phone. But your phone is not the villain. We unfortunately we need our phones. I need my GPS. I need my calendar. I need my text messages. I need to be reached. I need to be connected to other people in the world. I'm sorry, I can't be one of those people that is not connected. I can't. The material conditions of my life require it of me. But that's just what I've been thinking about. I did finish that game, and I think I will be going back to finish it 100%. I'm very excited to go and do that, and I'm very excited to not necessarily keep this experiment going, but now that I have this and I'm sort of being reminded of the fact that you can just do whatever you want, you have free will, and just try to make intentional and better choices with it, that I should just continue to make choices that allow me to be more present and enjoy the things that I already have. So yes, if you watch all the way through this ramble, I want to give you a very big thank you. If you would like to see more rambles, vlogs, and other types of content from me, please be sure to subscribe, like this video, and comment because I want to know what you think about the subject. Anyways, I'll see you all very soon. Bye.